Hello, my name is Vincent Lujan, and with the growing phenomenon of companies using personality tests as a step in their hiring process, it is good to self-analyze for future career success. With 80% of Fortune 500 companies using personality tests in 2022, according to leader writer and Yale graduate Vanessa Lakeville. So today I'll be analyzing my DISC test results. Just as an intro to my slideshow presentation here, I more specifically will be covering uh, how compatible with certain job types I am, what my management style could look like, how my workplace interactions with coworkers could look like, and what I think of personality tests being used in the hiring process. Oh, one too far. My apologies. Looking at the results of my DISC test, I discovered that I have good traits for being a manager as shown by my high dominance and compliance score. But unfortunately, to be a leader, I need to work on my people skills, which is reflected in my influence score. As of right now, I agree with these test results, and I think they're pretty accurate with how I am as a person. Assessing my capabilities for roles that require higher levels of influence and steadiness is important to me personally because it shows what I need to work on as a person in order to achieve my future goals. For example, a job in sales, which is a job that I am very interested in, uh, human relations, or just being in a leadership position, all require abilities associated with a high influence score, like the ability to inspire and negotiate. According to Indeed's career guide, one of the most important skills to have is negotiation, which, as I just said, is mostly associated with a higher influence score. So if I want to be a leader, I need to work on my influence. Further assessing my capabilities and compatibility with some jobs. According to Kelly Cantwell, a growth strategist and entrepreneur with more than 2 decades of experience building and advising successful businesses, dominant hires thrive in positions like uh, in technical positions and just more management style where they're looking over many people and many moving parts. Just that technicality of it all. They're able to work more efficiently and they're pretty resilient in the face of adversity. I'm very to the point with how I talk to people. I realize that, and I'm always working towards a goal, which both align with my diff scores and what Kelly Cantwell was saying. I feel that as of right now, these are the positions I'm most suited to. So, as far as management style goes, as my high dominance score suggests, my management style would be one of problem solving and quickly taking the initiative on work, which I do show. A downside of this is my lack of sympathy for others, especially if they aren't contributing as much to a team setting. In a company structure, I definitely would need to work on my patience and interpersonal skills to work more efficiently with a team. Workplace interactions. According to Forbes communication analyst Christina Jolahosa, workplace motivation can be increased by as much as 30% when there is a good communication between employees and management. Communication skills most of the problems that we have in business and just in life in general, they stem from communication skills. If there's not good communication, can cause a lot of problems. But communication is a skill that I also need to practice in order to handle customers in a sales position, or if there's a coworker that needs help with a task. Communicating is key for those kind of situations. Sympathy for others, like I already said, and being emotionally aware of how others may view my actions or just your actions can save everyone in the workplace from uncomfortable situations and making working in a team much easier. Oh, it's my bad. Okay. So, talking about personality tests and what I think of them in the workplace. One of the biggest problems I see with personality tests being used in the hiring process is the major oversimplification of traits, which could determine in some of these companies if you're hired or not. It's their hiring decisions are made off of these traits. For example, a person with low dominance might lose out on a technical position purely on the grounds they don't appear very assertive, which I think is unfair. If that person possesses most of the necessary skills, they shouldn't be missing out on a job opportunity. A strong influence score is often needed in sales, like I've kind of already touched on, but a good salesman also needs to have technical knowledge, strategic thinking, and product understanding, which those are things that might fall out of a personality test like the DISC test, and I just don't think they don't get the full scope of a person tests like these. The DISC test may also I was thinking about it. The DISC test may also favor behaviors common in workplaces that are found in the West, which could lead to cultural bias. Some of the better parts of a you know of a test like this is it should only be used as a tool to help an employer get a rough idea of who a person is. Sherry Haney on the Forbes Council even suggests that a personality test should only be used as a tool and not as a decision maker for an interviewer or anybody hiring. With the rise in popularity of personality tests being used in the hiring process for many companies, it's important to get an idea of your own personality to determine what jobs you may be well suited for. Personality tests can show where you might improve as a person if you're looking to get a job in a certain field that you just might not be ready for, but you can see what you need to work on. My results let me self-analyze a little more deeply than I would have thought I could have, and it let me realize what I may be good at, and what I may need to improve upon if I wish to become a salesman one day. Overall, in the workplace, I think that personality tests should only be used as a tool in a toolbox that is the hiring process, and not as a final say in whether an individual should or shouldn't get a job. Here are my sources. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.